Madrid in the 1600s was the beating heart of a growing empire, a royal capital, a crowded marketplace. A city still shaping itself from dusty lanes and new stone facades. By this century, tens of thousands of people lived here. Courtiers, soldiers, merchants, servants, and migrants from every corner of Castile filled the narrow streets. Power flowed outward from Madrid across Spain, across the Atlantic, and deep into the world. In this video, I use modern AI tools to bring historic paintings, engravings, and prints to life. We shift perspective. We move through the streets. We look behind corners that earlier artists only suggested. These reconstructions let us step inside the city and experience its spaces in ways their creators never could. First, I want to talk about the place that defined public life. This view shows the Plaza Mayor in the early 1600s. The wide square spreads out like a stage, framed by arcaded buildings and long lines of balconies. In the foreground, vendors unload baskets of bread and vegetables. Riders cross the dusty center while crowds gather beneath the shade. Daily life pulsed here. Bakers sold warm loaves. Butchers worked in wooden stalls. Children ran after pigeons while musicians moved through the crowd. Yet the plaza also carried tension. Public punishments and ceremonies of the Inquisition drew massive audiences. A fire in 1631 destroyed large parts of the square, reminding everyone how vulnerable the city remained. Plaza Mayor mattered because it symbolized royal power under Philip III. Rebuilt many times, it survives today still a gathering place, but far more peaceful than it once was. This view shows the Calle Mayor, the main artery of movement through Madrid. The street stretches away between tall facades and iron balconies. Carts creak under heavy loads. Shopkeepers sweep doorways. Far in the background, church spires pierce the skyline. Life here never paused. Shoemakers, tailors, silversmiths, and spice sellers worked side by side. The smells of leather, smoke, and cooking drifted together. But this density also meant danger. Pickpockets thrived. Illness spread quickly. During the plague outbreak between 1647 and 1652, fear filled streets exactly like this. Calle Mayor mattered because it joined royal ceremony with everyday commerce. Later expansions transformed it, yet the same route still guides movement through the city center. This view shows the Royal Alcázar of Madrid, standing above the city like a symbol of authority during the reign of Philip IV. Heavy stone walls surround an ordered courtyard. Servants hurry across corridors while guards remain posted at the gates. Carriages roll in carrying noble visitors. Inside, luxurious tapestries and works by Velázquez demonstrated Spain's imperial power. Outside, rumors about intrigues and rising taxes circulated. The Alcázar mattered because decisions made inside its halls affected territories stretching from Naples to New Spain. In 1734, a devastating fire erased the structure, and the modern royal palace rose in its place. Standing there today, you are still on the ground where the earlier court once lived and ruled. This view shows Puerta del Sol in its early form. Not yet the grand square we know, it was more a cluster of streets widening around markets and inns. Merchants set up temporary stalls. Couriers hurried through. Voices layered into a constant murmur. But it was also a crossroads of anxiety. News from distant wars or returning fleets could change the atmosphere in minutes. Rumors about taxes or shortages spread rapidly. Puerta del Sol mattered because it carried the city's information and energy. Over time, engineers reshaped it into the formal plaza of today, built upon its restless origins. This view shows the Buen Retiro Palace and its gardens in the 1630s. The court longed to escape the crowded center, and so elegant pavilions rose beside calm ponds and tree-lined paths. Nobles strolled under the shade. Musicians performed. Servants carried refreshments across manicured lawns. But this luxury came at enormous cost. At a time of wars and financial strain, some saw Buen Retiro as proof that the court had distanced itself from ordinary life. Still, the palace shaped culture through plays, festivals, and artistic patronage. Though much of it disappeared later, the Retiro survives today as a public park where anyone can walk the grounds that once belonged only to the elite. This view shows the Manzanares River and the Punta Segovia. Stone arches stretch over shallow water, linking the city to its countryside. Washerwomen kneel along the bank. Fishermen cast lines. Herds and wagons cross the bridge while Madrid rises on the hill beyond. Floods always threaten, turning gentle currents into sudden torrents. The bridge mattered because it carried food, livestock, and travelers into the capital. Restored and preserved, it still serves as one of Madrid's oldest crossings. This view shows the convent of Los Descalzes Reales. Quiet brick walls shelter enclosed courtyards. Nuns move silently through cloisters while the bells echo across surrounding neighborhoods. Poor families gather near the entrance seeking help. Yet behind the peace lay complexity. Noble women often entered the convent for political or financial reasons as much as faith. Wealth, charity, discipline, and isolation intertwined. The convent mattered because it tied royal devotion to political strategy. Astonishingly, it remains today, filled with art and relics that reflect a deeply spiritual past. This view shows the Plaza de la Villa, one of the key seats of local government. Civic buildings display coats of arms and towers. Officials stride across the square. Messengers deliver rolls of documents. Citizens approach, demanding solutions to shortages, disputes, and rising prices. But city rulings were not always popular. When new taxes arrived, tempers rose. The plaza mattered because it represented local authority trying to manage a rapidly expanding capital. The preserved buildings still give this corner of Madrid a powerful connection to its administrative past. This view shows the road leading toward Atasha. Dust rises behind wagons moving out of the city. Farmers drive in vegetables. Shepherds guide their flocks. Pilgrims, merchants, and soldiers share the same route, each heading toward different destinations. Bandits, storms, and broken wheels always pose danger. A single delay could mean empty markets back in town. The road mattered because it carried the city's lifeline of food and goods. Over centuries, it evolved into modern avenues and transportation routes, but its importance remains unchanged. This view shows a bustling market near the area later known for San Miguel. Improvised stalls crowd the space. Baskets overflow with grain and vegetables. Fishmongers shout prices while smoke rises from small fires. Markets like this fed the entire city, but shortages could turn them volatile. Bread riots and difficult years revealed just how precarious survival could be. These markets matter because they sustain all levels of society. Later buildings replaced the open stalls, yet the spirit of busy food trading still echoes in today's Mercado de San Miguel. This view shows the festival of San Isidro, dedicated to Madrid's patron saint. Crowds gather near chapels and along the river banks. Families picnic, musicians perform. Pilgrims come seeking blessings and miracles. Celebration brought relief, yet class differences remained visible. Some arrived in elegant carriages, while others walked from far neighborhoods. The festival mattered because it united the city across belief and tradition. Remarkably, it continues today, linking modern celebrations with 17th century faith. When we animate these scenes with AI, shifting the camera, gliding down streets, and stepping into interiors that painters could only suggest, the past feels close again. Madrid in the 1600s becomes more than ruins or records. It becomes a living city, full of dust, sound, danger, and beauty. And it reminds us that history is not only about kings and battles, but also bakers, nuns, carpenters, travelers, and children, the quiet millions who shape daily life. If there's another city, another moment, or another scene you'd like to see reconstructed like this, let me know in the comments. Again, thank you so much.